Session, this is 12. Can you start with session 12? Session 11, mistakes were made. Not just in-game, but on my part. Completely forgot to turn the audio on for Discord for about an hour and a half, and I didn't realize that until Shane popped in and told me. Anyway, last session, you guys went searching for Bunk. You went down into the tunnels that were underneath the rodeo, beneath the stable. You found Bunk. You killed off the band of cannibals that had captured him and were preparing to sort of field dress him. After a very violent confrontation, you guys decided to return to the stables under the rodeo. As you got to the trapdoor that led back up, you could hear some people walking around, milling about in the stables, and you heard them discussing something about recent disappearances. More mention of Major Sullivan, and somebody indicated that they had mentioned the smuggling operation. So apparently this two people that were above you, it's at least known that is a thing that's in operation. And one of them said that Major Sullivan sanctioned the operation and that he should just mind his own business. After exiting the tunnels, you guys fled towards an old barn outside of in the Fraser Valley to kind of recuperate from the fight. Bunk snuck away and set up a landmine in the tunnels, kind of at a point where there was what you guys had assumed was a trap underground. And then he kind of snuck his way back. After a certain amount of time resting, the landmine that Bunk had set up detonated, basically caused the entire tunnel network to cave in. There was a huge Vanguard response, and you guys noticed at least one person that looked very much in charge. Like, everybody was responding to him with pretty significant sense of respect. And he just the way that he carried and presented himself indicated that he was sort of a big shit amongst the Vanguard troops. What else? You guys kind of decided to put maybe the smuggling operation on hold for a bit. You know, kind of press pause on this notion of like getting picked up by the smugglers, because you weren't sure if the smugglers were in on the cannibals, you know, if they were part of that. And also it just seems like there's a lot going on at the rodeo, so you decided to kind of put the pause on that. And instead you decided to start heading north towards a YMCA. You guys made camp about halfway. Over the course of the evening, Bunk escaped being trampled by a moose. Easy. And after spending the night at camp, the group carried on with their plan towards the YMCA. During the hike out, Marcus and Dorian were stricken with some pretty significant digestive cramps, and I think we ended it with Dorian shitting his pants. And that was where we left it off, which I think was an interesting end to a very unconventional session that we had last time. But
I was going to say, very sweet coyote hat for Dorian, I think.
Oh, I got a coyote hat. Nice. Just what I always wanted. Small price to pay for shitting yourself.
Part of the gang.
Yeah, but that's where you guys sort of left off. I think at some point the words that I used were like, "Don't look at me," and then Dorian just sort of like couldn't hold on anymore and just shit himself. And aside from just like shitting himself, like you are in pretty significant like pain. This isn't just loose stool in and of itself. Like you're having a rough go. And that's pretty much where we left it off. Marcus is in similar. He's in a similar situation. But Peter sees it and he's just like, "Good God, man, get a hold of yourself."
Guys, I had an accident. Don't peek behind the curtain, but I think, does anyone have any extra pants?
No.
All right.
Carries
Well,
extra pants.
I don't know. You'd think someone would have extra pants. You guys kill a lot of people.
Well, next people we kill, probably a lady, looking by your physique. We can get you some pants.
So yeah.
And also,
go ahead.
I'm hurting. We need to like. Did I eat something bad?
You're not sure yet. I mean, you give me a. No, you're not sure yet.
Okay.
Oh, Dorian, whatever you're feeling, I've got going on too. I just haven't broken the seal, so to say.
Bunk, do you know any like wild remedies that would be like some Tums or some Pepto?
Some like, yeah, maybe anti-diarrheal, maybe stomach settling type stuff. But I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on with you. I don't know if you're poisoned or something.
Certainly feels like it.
Well, I'm not feeling great, and I got poop in my pants.
Bug would like to try to diagnose, or like kind of, if I've ever had that before, I've seen that before, or know of any.
Give.
I can take my pants off if you want to go through my feces and see my scat, see what
Pretty
if you
sure
see
it's all
anything.
liquid.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to give me a I'd say a survival roll.
Okay.
You need to survive what you're about to smell.
Forbidden.
I don't know how to help you.
Forbidden.
Why was I forbade? Let's try again. 1, 2, 3. Pow!
Nice.
Sweet. Okay, so one success. Yeah. Give me 2 seconds. I gotta. So, you know, Dorian, you kind of check stuff out as much as you are comfortable considering the scenario. But not only Dorian has definitely shit himself, but it smells incredibly foul. And not only that, it looks sort of greasy. And you understand that these are pretty prototypical symptoms for Giardia.
Oh. Must have had some bacteria. Didn't cook our shit good enough, I guess.
And who's the one cooking all the stew?
It's definitely not from the stew.
Hey
That
guys,
was cooked.
that last camp we had where we got water, I don't remember boiling any water. Do you guys remember boiling any water?
No, we just kind of grabbed it.
The old grab and go.
All right. Let's take all of our water and make a fire and boil it.
Yeah, on it. I go well away from shitty Dorian and start making a fire to boil our water.
Okay. Go ahead and give me. I don't think we need to for this yet. I mean, you guys already had sort of a fire going. You haven't been. You're not too terribly far away from camp. So I'd just say that you can. This is the thing you can just do. So yeah, you guys boil all your water and re-ration it. And anything else you guys want to do before?
I would like
Do
to
we
clean
have
my
any,
pants
Sure.
as best I can
Sure.
with, like, I don't know,
Prestidigitation.
leaves or I'd just at least like wipe them clean.
Sure. Okay.
Did we pass the running water? Did we pass like a stream or a creek or something?
You did at the place where you got all this water, but no, not where you're at right now.
That's too far away. Okay. Next stream we encountered, just turn them inside out and wipe them on the grass as best you can.
Yeah,
Take balls out.
that's what I'm doing right now.
Throw some water on it.
Considering the nature of this, though, I'm gonna need Dorian to take the dehydrated condition.
All right.
How do I have it lit? How do I have it on the character sheet?
Thirsty.
Thirsty? That's stupid. Take exhausted instead then.
I'm already exhausted because I haven't slept.
Oh fuck, I forgot. Well then we'll just leave it alone. We'll just say that you're still very exhausted. So yeah,
Okay, so
you
not thirsty.
No, not thirsty. I don't like the way I word that. I'm gonna have to change that on the character sheet. So yeah, you kind of like just take your pants and sort of wipe them off on the brush and field and wipe them out as best you can. And the whole time, Peter is just like shaking his head. It's like, I can't believe this. What is this fucking amateur hour?
Hey, did you boil any water, Peter?
I don't need water.
Yeah. Are you a fucking cactus?
It's a camel.
Yes, Peter boils some of his water. But you are at this point. I would say you guys are about an hour's out from. If you guys were still heading towards that YMCA on the map, I would say you guys are about an hour out.
Well, fellas, you ready to roll?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Doing okay, Dorian?
Oh, I think I'll survive. I mean, could use some Pepto, but I'll let you know if anything worse happens.
Please, dear God, do it away from me if something worse happens.
Okay. So are you guys still planning on heading north towards the YMCA? Is that the plan? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
So I just need somebody to give me a navigation roll, just like normally when we do travel. Navigation roll, and somebody keep watch.
For
navigation, that'd be a
navigation,
survival.
Survival?
Mhm.
I'll do survival. I'll do the navigation.
My watch would be a 4 total.
Sorry.
I said if I were to keep watch, that'd just be okay. Silas got it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, That'd do it.
Cool. So you guys sort of, regroup after this sort of sidebar scenario and continue north. It's pretty uneventful. I mean, you guys are just basically marching through this open valley. And after about an hour, you see another road sign. You guys are off of the road, but you're close enough that you can see them because they're big, like, billboard type signs. And you see another sign mentioning the YMCA, the Fraser Valley YMCA, or whatever I called it. And as you walk a little bit further, you crest over this next hill, and you see a big facility that looks kind of run down, but surrounding it is a chain link fence. It's an old brick building, looks very institutional, like a gymnasium from like the 1950s, but it's huge. And it is surrounded by a big chain link fence, and there is one watchtower that's sort of out by the front. And I would say you guys are maybe 100 yards out.
I'll take a look at the watchtower to see what I see.
Okay, give me an observation roll.
I can carry my 4 successes.
Are there any windows or anything?
At the building? Okay.
So do we have plain?
Hold on.
view
I'm
of
gonna
the-
explain to Silas what he sees. So you look. Are you looking at the? What were you specifically looking for? Just general lay of the land. I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Matt.
Keep back and forth on my audio to try and make it work.
There you
It's
go.
weird. But so I am looking specifically at the watchtower to see if I see any people with weapons, because that worked really well when we went to that farm place.
Okay. Yeah. So, checking out the watchtower, you do see that there are 2 individuals that are kind of keeping track, so that not one direction is being ignored. They've got a basically 180-degree view of the entire valley out in front of them. And you do see 2 individuals in that tower. And it does appear that they are armed.
All right, guys, I can see 2 people. They look armed. Hopefully it's not with rakes and hoes like when we came upon the broom hut and killed those poor farmers.
the floppy hats.
So
I don't know what you're talking about, but that sounds brutal.
Matt, you said that Monk wanted to do something?
Yeah. So he's looking at the watchtower and he sees people there. I want to look at the actual front of the building. Are there windows or anything, or just the doors? Are we looking at the front, like the entrance, or just the side of the building?
You're not coming straight up on it. You're coming at it from like the side, so you're getting more of an angled profile view. You can see the front, but you're not coming directly at it. You're sort of coming at it from an angle.
Okay. I would like to get down and use my sniper rifle and my scope to kind of closer look at the watchtower people and see what I see.
Okay. Give me an observation roll. You see basically the same thing that Silas did. You are able to confirm that they are armed with rifles and not rakes or broom handles. This is not
What
a
are they dressed
janitorial
like?
staff. I mean, they're just wearing basic stuff. They don't appear to be military. One of the guys wearing just like a puffy vest. The other guy's got a jacket on.
I relay that to everybody. Hey guys, these guys are armed with rifles, so they could probably get us from pretty far away if they spot us, which from that vantage point, I don't think we could make it to the YMCA without taking them out. But they're not military, they're not Vanguard. They look like just some small faction. I don't know. What do you guys want to do? I tell you what, after my run-in with those cannibals, I'm less trusting of people we come up on. We just helped out old Pastor Crazy Pants that poisoned everyone, and then what's his fuck shot the C4. Cannibals. Like I'm a lot less trusting everybody, and I'm kind of in a kill 'em all, let 'em God sorted out type of mood here.
Well, hang on. Marcus, do you know of any trail angels that work out this way?
I might. I think I don't know if they're here. Would there be Greenland? Would there be any kind of marking, like if a trail angel is in an area, would they like carve something on a tree or have something that would let other trail angels know?
Similar to like the rogue high sign, sort of, so to speak. You would like trail angels would mark. Yeah, thieves can't. Sorry. Trail angels would mark certain locations. Kind of almost like the hobo code. Certain markings would mean certain things about buildings. But you don't. I mean, you're a bit far out from this building to see anything that would be marked on it. You do know that it's possible. You know that there are parts of the Trail Angel faction that exist out this far north, so to speak, from Summit County, but you don't know specifically. You're unfamiliar with this building, and you don't really know anything about this place.
Yeah, and so until we get closer, I can't be for certain, Silas.
Well, do you know, like, when we met you and your buddies used a bunch of flashlights, Morse code type things. Do you want to?
That's true.
You want to maybe give a signal or something, or Bunk? Are you too worried about giving our position away? Like we can kind of get behind something and he can do the signal.
I like them not knowing we're here in the first place. What was our whole? I forget what our idea was coming to this YMCA in the first place.
It was get the hell away from the rodeo.
It was just to get away from the rodeo, and it's just a spot. Do we know anything about this spot other than it's a YMCA? Was it rumored to have on the map or anything? Was it rumored to be? Does anybody know anything about this? Dorian, you don't know shit. You know something?
I mean, I do know a lot of things, but I don't think I've been to this YMCA before. But if we wanted to get in there, we could get them looking somewhere else and then go around. A diversion. Yes.
Interaction so early today. Only one of those, I bet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can tell you, I don't really care where they're looking. They don't see me, and I can take out at least one of them before the other one knows what the hell's going on. So if we have somebody right there to take out the second guy, we could take him out before we even get in there. Or we can go talk to him. But you know how that works out. Who knows?
But there's a chain link fence too, though. So how are we gonna, unless we're just gonna come up to the chain link fence? And just be like, yo, hey. But if you're gonna, if we're planning on talking to him.
All right, how about this, Dorian? How about we develop a sign, a signal? Okay.
Okay.
And I'll be watching you through my sniper rifle. I'll have whoever's talking to you in the crosshairs, and Silas or we'll have the other dudes in the freaking crosshairs. And if you give us, one signal for good, another signal for fucking kill these guys, you let us know. Peter, what do you think, buddy?
Sure.
You're kind of a kill them all guy.
I don't know. This is the first time I've seen an outpost with a watchtower and a full fence. And while this is not specifically fortified, it's also not just wide open. I think it's a bit presumptuous to assume that these two people in the watchtower are the only two that we would have to deal with. And once you fire that
definitely.
sniper rifle, the idea of being hidden is just about over.
So Peter suggests, I agree that there's definitely more within the compound. But also when you highly fortify a thing, you have the assumption that you can guard more things with less people with your fences and your watchtowers and your yada yada. So there might be just civilians or some shit inside.
If there are more than 5, we are outnumbered.
Should we maybe approach and me being in the Trail Angel, present myself as the Trail Angel, just on passing through, seeing if they need any help?
Okay.
I mean, people know of the Trail Angels, correct?
That's a great idea. And so here's where I'm at. I'd love to avoid a fight if we can. Like, I'm always wanting to not kill people, but man, I am ready. I am itchy trigger finger. I'm not gonna get caught in a situation where I get captured by any more cannibals. Like, that's never gonna happen to Buck again. So you scratch your head if everything's fucked. Okay, you scratch your head if everything's fucked, or you let's see. So bad kill them is scratch your head, or put your hands together like a praying symbol if they're cool.
Okay.
Is that all right, everybody? And we can just kind of watch. Silas, you train your arrows, or do you have a sniper rifle as well?
I have a sniper rifle as well.
Okay. And we designate by the color of their vests or whatever, or physical attributes. Like, Bunk has one, I got this dude, and you got that dude. And so we're just sitting there, crosshairs over those dudes, waiting.
Should I maybe bring Dorian with me and say that we've both kind of fallen ill? Another way to show that we're not aggressive. We're just seeking help for shit pants disease.
I think that's a great idea.
That's what I was gonna.
Show him your shitty britches.
Yeah.
Peter, if you would, please also train your fucking rifles on the whole thing, and
I have no rifle.
Just wait for the sign.
Maybe
what?
I have a pistol. I have no rifle.
Come on, he doesn't have a fucking rifle?
No, rifles are for pussies. I like to get in close.
Of course.
I will get in close and go with them. We got your backs.
Yeah,
so
you know what? Do that. That's
kill
a good
sign
idea.
is scratch my head.
Scratch your head.
What if
Kill
the
sign
hair
is
falls
scratch
in
your
my
head.
face and I like move my hair back? Is that gonna be? That's not.
Oh.
Should I not just touch my head at all?
I vote Dorian does not go.
Hold on. Also, how are you going to keep an eye on them and an eye on my head?
They're going to come up and speak with you. They will be right next to you. My sniper rifle is not 25x zoom. It is, I will be able to have everybody in the site at the same time, is my guess.
Okay.
I have both eyes open.
What if we change the signal? Because we're going to come up like this. I don't want to like scratch my head and then they think like, keep your hands off your face. And then they shoot me because I move my hands. What if I just like gun fingers?
That's
Hands
a
are up.
telltale. Don't do that. That's
Okay.
definitely a kill signal. Everybody will get that.
What if I open up hug arms?
Dorian, you are not going anymore. You are staying with us. Peter and Marcus are going.
And his shit pants need to be.
You get to
on
sit
the side.
back here, old shitty britches.
I'll get my throwing knives ready. I can throw pretty far.
No, you should go with them. What if they need a magician?
I'm
All
pretty
right.
good at
And
this
there's
kind
like
of
a
Shut the
solid
fuck up.
75% chance that you're going to need a magician.
Yeah.
I think so.
I mean,
All right.
that's
I'll just let
half an hour
Marcus.
every day.
Marcus will give the signal, not me. How about that?
Yeah,
That's
I was
great.
gonna say just 'cause maybe they'll be more trained on him with his situation going on. That I can not be the
They'll be
focus.
watching. They'll all be watching Dorian. Dorian is an attention grabber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't want to. If you
All
move
right,
your eyes a
let's do
little
that.
bit, you'll miss the show.
Let's do that.
Oh,
All right. So Dorian and
Oh.
Marcus are going up to the front.
And Peter, well, no, Peter's
And
waiting.
Peter. Okay. All right. So you guys make your way, towards, out from the side and kind of come towards. There's this big gravel road. It's, it's an old mountain dirt road that leads to this YMCA. And you're pretty exposed. So the two of, as soon as you get within that like front view, they see you, and you can tell because they like rifle up. One of them's got binoculars, and they're checking you out.
Maybe like the way we're coming up, can Dorian kind of be like an arm over me, kind of like I'm carrying him a little bit, and then I've got like my other arm up, like saying, "Hey,
Yeah.
we're not a threat. We're not a threat."
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a. Well, actually, here's what I'm gonna do.
No, we lost Matt.
Okay. So, oh shit. Yeah, I mean, you do this whole performative sort of demonstration that Dorian is sick and you guys are in need of assistance. Peter is he's not playing along. He's just all business. But the three of you kind of get closer, and before you get, I would say within like 30 feet or so, you can hear one of them yell down from the watchtower. "That's close enough. Stop where you are."
I guess Marcus is going to say, "We understand. I'm Marcus Schrader. I'm with the Trail Angels. My companion here is very sick. We're just looking for some shelter and some place to rest."
My name's Dorian Danger. The Dorian Danger. If you've heard of me.
But like you can see them like kind of talk to each other. "Never heard of you."
That's a shame.
Have you heard of the Trail Angels?
So they kind of start talking to each other, and you can tell that sort of set them back. Give me 2 seconds. I'm sorry. One of them says, "You're from the Trail Angels? You're part of the Trail Angels?"
I am. Me and my companion here, kind of got sidetracked, lost, if you will, and again, we've both either eaten something or just fallen ill, and we're just looking for a place to rest and to recoup. We are not violent. We're not Vanguard. We're just trying to get off the road.
What's a Trail Angel doing this far north? What station are you from?
Don't remember. The main one. I can't remember. I'm sorry.
He's like, okay, sounds legit.
It's a good one.
No, I'm sorry. I'm from Frisco. I'm from Frisco. The Frisco station, or that's where I've been mostly. Dylan Dam. Yeah. Dylan Dam.
So they kind of sit there for a minute, and they're like, man, they keep talking back and forth. And he's like, so did you know Sam and Sean?
Yes, the ginger, Sam and Sean. I knew them well, or I know them well.
Wait, what do you mean you knew them well? Why did you use past tense with this?
Because it's been a while since I've seen them, but we are friends.
They kind of give me a persuasion roll.
Persuasion. It says forbidden.
Give it another shot.
It's telling me it's forbidden.
Just try reloading the.
All right, let's try one more time. That's a lot of dip.
So, hold on. Is Matt back on yet?
I'm trying.
Bummer.
I'm on my phone. My computer is kind of crap.
Bummer. Okay.
Nice.
Sorry, I'm trying to fix something here real quick. So these two guys are kind of like, you know, you've mentioned you're one of the Trail Angels. You've
Oh, sorry, didn't mean to do that.
Oh, that's okay. You've mentioned, you know, you said you're from Frisco at the Dylan Dam station. They asked you about Sam and Sean, but you were sort of like, yeah, I totally knew them. And so he asks, well, do you always stay in bounds?
I'm gonna say only when it's groomed.
And they kind of look at each other, and they're like, they kind of yell back at the YMCA, at the building. They're like, open the gate! And you see 4 dudes kind of rush from the flanks of this building that were in covered bunkers, and they come rushing out. And they have this whole elaborate mechanism for like locking and barricading and shunting the door, and they go through this whole process of removing the barricade, and it's this huge sliding chain link gate, and they just start pulling it open. And he yells down, he's like, if you're coming, time to move. We're not going to keep this open all day.
Holding back.
I'm holding back. Yeah, we stay out.
Going in.
Okay. So you guys go in
Is
inside
Peter
the
with
gate?
them?
Yeah, Peter's with them. He's going to go in with them.
Okay. Split that party, dog.
So, yeah, you guys walk in, and like as soon as the three of you guys clear the gate, they start pulling it closed again and setting the barricade back up to keep it shut. The guy that's been sort of like communicating to you from the watchtower, he kind of yells down, and he's just like, take him to Grace. She's going to want to see him. And they start leading you inside. They're like, come on.
Is Grace your doctor, physician?
I think she was a doctor at one time, yeah.
Good. So I need one.
And he kind of he finally notices, it dawns on him that you are just you're a mess, and he's just sort of, ooh, are you all right?
You can also use some pants if you have any pants, or
You have any pants?
do
Leather
some
pants,
laundry.
Rick?
Well, I mean, I don't think we have any laundry per se, but I think we can figure out how to get you some new pants. I think we should just burn these. And he's like, I've never smelled anything like this. Anyway.
I was poisoned.
So he just kind of motions. He's like, come on, let's go inside.
Marcus would also ask if they have means to change out some gauze and stuff for my impaled leg.
Oh shit! Forgot about that.
I did too until just now.
I'm sorry, I missed. What did you
Go
ask?
see a doctor.
I was just, do they have the means to change out the gauze on my impaled leg? That I've still
Oh.
got 2 days.
I mean, not
of
outside.
condition on.
Not outside, but like if you guys are going in, they're like, we can have Grace take a look at it.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, so they lead you, and it's one of those things where it's big institutional staircase where it kind of like comes from both sides and then meets in the middle and then goes up to the big doors. And these are huge, big wooden doors. They open them up, and as you go into the main foyer, this is a pretty sophisticated place considering that it's an abandoned, bombed out YMCA post-apocalyptic scenario. It seems really organized. You can tell that this immediate area that you guys are in is kind of like a triage, and there are like 3 people that are taking care of some people that have some immediate issues. But further back, in sort of like in where if you look past the main entrance to where like there's a basketball court and all kinds of shit in the back, you can see that there are like cots set up. And it literally looks like this might be some sort of an infirmary, or just at least a place where people being taken care of. And amidst all of this, it's not like it's not a bustling hub. I mean, but it, considering, the location that you're in, this is like similar in terms of number of people to what you guys experienced at the cabin when you guys showed up at the cabin. There's like at least a dozen people here. And one of the people that's kind of like seems to be overseeing everything and just sort of everybody comes kind of like walks up to this woman and sort of they talk to her and she gives them direction and whatnot. She seems to be in charge of the place. And the guys that sort of led you in, they kind of point to her and they're like, you need to go talk to Grace. And he just yells over. He's like, Grace, we got newcomers. And she looks over at you and she's just sort of, does one of these. She calls you over.
Marcus would like to say to the guys, are either of you trail angels? I don't recognize you, but you obviously know the code.
They both shake their head no. But they mention that Sean and Sam had been through this area, and if anybody came through here, purporting to be a trail angel, that they should ask that question. And if they didn't respond correctly, they should immediately shoot that person.
It's a good thing I knew what to say.
Anyway, so yeah, they basically say you need to go talk to Grace, and it's this sort of a younger-ish woman, maybe late 30s, and she looks confident and almost kind of exhilarated by the entire situation that's going on in here. But she gives you sort of like the come on over kind of hand signal as she's like looking over charts and paperwork and whatnot.
How
I walk over.
Okay.
As we're walking through, Marcus would kind of like to get a lay of the land. Like, how well kept does this look? Does it look like the cabin that we were from, or is it a little bit more technologically sound? Or
I wouldn't say there's any technology. I mean, it is a makeshift operation. Whatever they're doing, it's from a place of creative resource usage rather than like high-tech medical advancement. But you can tell that this is sort of like a place where ne'er-do-wells and wayward wanderers have managed to find a safe haven.
So Dorian's gonna just walk straight up to Grace, and he's like, pardon my pungent odor, my aroma. You've caught me at my worst, but some knave gave me some bad water, and I trusted him too much.
So Grace is just a good God. You stink. What happened?
Some guy we met on the road, him and his lovely wife were just had come from a stream, and I, had to chat with the lady because I haven't seen a female in a while because I'm just hanging out with Marcus over here, his scruffy butt. And I don't think the guy liked it. And he gave me some poisonous water, I think.
Poisonous? So she kind of like immediately starts like checking your pupils, looking at your skin for any sort of like rashes or, whatever doctors do. I don't know what the fuck they're looking for, but this is what she's doing. And she's like, I don't know that you're poisoned, but you do stink of potential Giardia contamination. Did you drink any untreated water recently?
That fool must have gave me some untreated water. And I was too trusting, maybe a little naive, and I just drank it.
So
I had been so thirsty.
Marcus is going to say, hey, I drank the same thing. We just forgot. It wasn't on purpose because I also feel like I'm about to have rancid shits.
So she mentions to Steve, who's sort of like this assistant that she's got. She's like, Steve, she points to Marcus, get him to the latrine before he causes an issue in my hospital. And she's like, then she points at Dorian. She's like, get him into a bed on an IV with a saline drip. Let's get him hydrated and let's see if he can keep any fluids down. So she takes Dorian over to a bed. It's more like a gurney really than a bed. They hook you up to an IV, and she's just basically like, look, you're just gonna have to wait it out. I don't have anything to treat it. She's like, I got a few things that'll help settle your stomach, but in terms of this illness, you're just gonna have to wait it out. And to that end, why don't you give me a stamina roll?
Stamina. 3.
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh, sweet.
So you're still sick. You still feel like garbage. But she hooks you up to the IV. She even gives you maybe like a little sedative to help you relax. She's like, you look like shit. When was the last time you slept?
What day is it?
It's Blur's Day.
Maybe last Wednesday.
She's like, you're not doing yourself any favors by being awake. Why don't you just sleep? Let the IV do its job, get you back on your feet, and you need rest. If you don't sleep, this could all go completely sideways.
But if I blink, you guys promise you won't disappear?
Where the fuck am I gonna go?
I don't know.
I think you're delirious.
Power I have.
I think you're definitely delirious. And she's just like, "Want just sleep?" And then she just like pushes you basically into this bed and is just sort of like, "Just sleep. You just need to sleep." And then Marcus, you managed to make it to a restroom where you have the most explosive exodus of disgusting filth just jettisoned from your asshole. It's unsettling. I need you to take a point of stress.
So wait, shit pants McGee over here doesn't get any stress, but I do. Okay.
I'm kidding. You don't need to take a point of stress.
I'm imagining Lloyd Christmas.
But same deal with you. After you have your bout with Giardia, like Steve, sort of like this orderly's just like, good God, man. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that, and I've been here for a long time. But he guides you, after you sort of like regain composure and sort of get yourself reoriented after this sort of traumatic ordeal. He leads you back out to the main room where Grace is as well, where she does the same thing. She's like, the two of you, I don't understand how the two of you could have drinking contaminated water. This is like a rookie mistake. So she like goes to this locker and starts rummaging through shit. And she's like, I think I have one in here. And she finds like this water filter. And she's like, don't drink anything that hasn't been run through this. And she just sort of stuffs it in Marcus's backpack.
Nice.
So I'm good to add that to my backpack.
Yeah.
Dorian, once his head hit the pillow, he passed the fuck out, by the way.
Okay. Perfect. So you can remove the exhausted condition. So we'll head back outside. Silas and Bunk are outside. You guys hear the sound of one of those vehicles, those personnel carriers. It's coming up that gravel road that leads to the entrance.
I'm already in stealth mode, crouched down.
Okay.
And in position, so I don't think they can see me.
Give me a stealth roll.
Okay.
We're just out here. They just went in.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you, Matt.
Matt, you're really low.
Talking to myself.
Ooh.
Fuck.
Let's have Silas. Unless Silas is not going to try and hide. Give you
I'll try and hide too. Can you hear me now?
a little bit. It seems like it's a little cut out.
I'm gonna switch back to my phone and just.
Apparently, whatever mic is being used, it's not the one in front of your face. It's like a different one somewhere else.
Yeah, not your headphone. Yeah.
It's
I
the
keep
microphone.
switching to. So I switch to this microphone and then it cuts out. Like I don't know
No,
if it's my
no, it's working.
headphones or what.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Working. Yeah.
Anyway,
I got one success.
so you guys kind of take a hidden position and you watch as this sort of like this gray, it's not really an armored vehicle, but it is sort of like a personnel carrier. And as soon as it gets to the gates, they don't hesitate. They just open it right up and this vehicle drives right in.
Does this armored vehicle look like the one that we saw drive up after my landmine went off?
Yes.
Fuck.
Yep. And you see out of the driver's seat, you see that same sergeant hop out of the driver's seat, and out of the passenger seat, you see that other the sort of like the bigwig, the head guy that showed up at the rodeo after the tunnel caved in. And they get out and they kind of like look around and survey, and after a couple seconds of talking back and forth to each other, you can tell they yell something up to the tower. You can't really make out what they say, but they just yell something up to the tower. And then gates close. And these two men in military uniforms start making their way towards the entrance.
Shit. I turn to Silas and I say, those are them same motherfuckers that came after I blew up the goddamn tunnel. Those guys are scary motherfuckers. Those are big dudes. Why are they going into this YMCA? What do they have to do with this civilian type deal here? I think Silas and Dorian, I think Marcus and Dorian and Peter are in danger at this point.
So, but how did How did they get in? Did they?
The
This is
people maintaining the
definitely- they
gate,
knew one another.
they opened it up. They as soon as they pulled up, there was no oh, who are you and
This
what's
is
your
like
business? They
their
just like
outpost.
opened it and let them in.
Yeah. So our guys are in there, and they're gonna magically appear after all this shit blew up. After I know those guys are gonna say, "Hey, any new guys just fucking showed up around here?" So this is it, man. We I don't think we can fucking wait. I think they're in danger. What do you think, Silas?
What do you want to do?
I don't know, but I don't want to send them in there to get killed.
I mean, if we just start popping shots off, we're gonna get all those people out here in a real big hurry.
Hey, maybe that's an idea. Maybe we create a distraction out here to where those people in there think that nobody in there were the people that did the thing. We create a fucking diversion out here that makes them run back out and engage us rather than our comrades that are in there. They'll be discovered quickly. This is one of their outposts. The moment those guys talk to anybody, they'll know who's the newest people that just walked up. Oh, some trail angels just walked up. We need to fucking do something now. We need to create a diversion now. Set some shit on fire, blow some shit up that gets them chasing us, not them.
I'd rather not be chased by people that you think are bad dudes. Um, I I do have a grenade. We could like try and set something to explode, and then the fuck out of there. Maybe go the other side. I don't know, but
That's a great idea. Grenade. I have fishing line and that grenade, and I say oh shit. Fuck it, I could shoot a grenade and it'll blow up. Why don't we tie this motherfucker to a tree over kind of closer to the watchtower while you and me go to the other side, and then I fucking shoot that grenade and blow it up. They may hear a shot, but we should be so far away. I want to be so far away that they don't even recognize that there was a shot. By the time the sound would have hit them from my shot, that thing should be exploding. I can't hear you. You cut out. Swap mics.
Balls.
what's the plan if we get them to come out? Are we trying to take them out?
Fuck yeah. Well, honestly, we really are just trying to create a diversion and send them on a goose chase that makes them think that their people are not inside that YMCA, that we're still out here fucking around. So basically, we're just gonna create some shit and then evade. I don't really care about taking them out. What do you think?
Yeah, we can try it. I mean, we're going through a lot of trouble. I didn't really want to tell you this, but all those fuckers in there ready to not go looking for you when you were gone. We're going through a lot of trouble for people that were ready to abandon you.
Well, maybe they'll change their mind. I've been through a lot in the last 24 fucking hours. I mean, last 48 hours rather, with somebody I did trust blowing us the fuck up. Some goddamn pastor I say, thought I was saving a kid, and this fucker's in a suicide cult and all this, like, my shit's been shook up, and I'd like to have some people I can trust. And how the hell can I trust some people if they can't trust me?
All right, well, let's get them. So, let's Are we near enough to a tree that we can try and pull off this scheme?
Sure. Yeah, I'll say that there's like a a grove of like 3 or 4 trees, aspens. Yeah. It's not like a huge, you're not in a forest, but there are certainly trees in the area.
I got some electrical tape. We
blow
can
up the
tape
moat.
it to the.
Perfect.
You
Give me
can
a
use fishing line or electrical tape or whatever you want.
Which one do you want to use?
I'll use a fishing line.
Okay.
All right. My grenade. Been holding on to you for a long time.
You've had that for a while.
Since the distillery.
Oh wow, it's a long time. All right.
All right.
So describe to me one more time what you're doing.
We are using fishing line to suspend at about 6.5 feet in the air, as high as I can reach, and tie against a tree, a grenade.
Okay.
Facing the way that we are going. So I'll have a very clear shot at it when we go to basically the other side, almost to the highest ground furthest away, where I can still get a clear shot on this thing.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
That's what I want.
the topography basically runs uphill to the so if you're looking towards it, going south to north, it runs uphill until the building is on sort of like a plateau. But yeah, I mean, you could get a clear shot on it. If you wanted to head like towards more the rear of the building, I would say you'd still have like a clear shot on it if you wanted to.
We want to go to the opposite side of the building.
Oh, the
other
side.
So is the building further north at the top of the hill on a plateau, or is the building on the lower part?
So it's a wide rectangular building that faces east, southeast, so to speak. And you guys are coming at it from the south. So you have a view of the front, but the far side of the building is north of you.
Does it continue to go upward? Does the land continue to go upward? Do I have an elevated position if I continue north?
Yes.
I'd like to do that. I'd like to continue north, and so we're kind of up on a hill in an elevated position.
Okay.
Where I can still see all that shit. And it's the other side of the building.
Okay. I mean, you are going to have to cross a dirt road that leads straight to the entrance, which is in direct view of that watchtower.
Can we go the other way?
Like behind it? Like go behind? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Do that.
Okay. Yeah, give me another. You already roll for stealth, so do.
Like every minute that passes, like.
So yeah, give me another stealth roll.
I know they're the biggest news in this fucking thing. Is that some people trail angels just walked up.
Okay. Anyway.
We are not filthy.
You guys make your way around the back, the side of the building on your way around the back. And on this back side, it's a bit more shady from the forest that's farther to the west. And you kind of make your way around. You get to the north, the north corner of the the rear of the building. And if you want to try and come back around by the front, you can go ahead and do that if you want.
Yeah, try to go towards the front, I guess.
Okay. And I mean, you do.
I'm ready to shoot this fucking thing.
Give me an observation roll.
Made it to
Who?
Either one of you.
I will.
Okay. So as you guys kind of come creeping out from behind this, the backside of this building, you do see these two bunkers that the other men that kind of emerged from when they let the gates open for Dorian and Marcus. And you can tell that there are two men in this bunker. So as far as you can tell, there are two in the watchtower and two on this bunker that are sort of on the ground level.
So we can... I'm sorry. Are we near the people in the bunker?
They're inside the facility. They're inside the gate. They're on the inside of the gate. But I'm saying that you recognize this bunker. It's sort of like, made out of like sandbags and shit with a loose covering over it. But it's a covered position, and it's on the ground as opposed to up in the watchtower. And this is where this is one of the two positions where these people on the ground came out to open the gate when Marcus and Dorian approached. But you can tell that there are two people in this bunker that are on this far side of the building with you.
How about we just, I don't want to be seen. How about we just backtrack and go to a spot where you can fire, still hit the grenade without passing in front of this thing.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay. So you guys are going to head back to the original vantage point?
Yes, the original vantage point.
Okay. Okay. So you do. And, I mean, you have a clear line of sight on this grenade. I would say that you have a clear line of sight on it from the rear of the building.
All right. I fire.
Okay. And the grenade
No
goes off.
hesitation. Just
The grenade goes off. The two men in the watchtower are completely taken by surprise. The four men come rushing out of the bunker. And the noise is loud enough to draw the attention of the people within. You see an additional four men come out, and the sergeant and the big guy that's in the wool pea coat. They all come running out. They immediately start reporting the big dude with like the coat and the eye patch. He's like, "What the fuck is going on?" And everybody starts searching the premises, and they are out front. Somebody yells, "Give me a perimeter sweep!" And four men, just four, not the main guys, but just four people that were stationed with rifles. They sort of make their way out, and they split off 2 by 2. They come outside of the gate, and they split off 2 by 2. Two of them go like clockwise. They start going clockwise around the building, and two of them start going counterclockwise around the building.
So,
Fuck, we need to get the hell out of here.
yeah. I agree. There's no way we're going to evade all these things. we need to get the hell out. So
Okay.
let's, as stealthily as we can, retreat as far back as we can.
Okay. Give me, stealth rolls.
Hey, how about do better than last time, guys?
2.
Yeah,
Yes,
there it is.
yes.
So you guys start making you start putting distance between yourself and this building, and you manage to find sort of on the sort of like the edge of where this forest begins, like the pine forest. You find like a secluded spot where you can kind of take a hidden position. And you see these two guys. They run. They meet together in the back of the building. And they kind of like scan the area. They're looking around, but they don't seem to see you. And they talk to each other, and they start heading back towards the front of the building. And again, they split off and in opposite directions and head back to the front of the gate. And, after a few minutes where everything seems to be kind of hectic and on high alert, the remaining people that came out, so the additional four men, they come out and they take sort of like patrol positions on the inside of the perimeter now. And just sort of like they're now actively patrolling the gates inside the perimeter. 2 guys go back up to the watchtower, and then the 4 other guys, they take their bunkered positions. The sergeant and at this point, you can tell that it's a major. They go back inside. So we'll go back inside. And after all of this, I mean, Marcus and Dorian, you hear the grenade. I mean, it's loud. You hear an explosion. Actually wakes Dorian up from his precious slumber that he's had for the first time in 3 days. Marcus, you hear it as well. And you watch this whole scenario where everybody suddenly is on alert and they rush out the building. And then they come back in. You hear the major and the sergeant talking to each other, and they're just like, we need to make sure that we keep this locked down. Double the patrols if we need to. Just keep your eyes peeled. But then, Marcus, and Dorian, since you're both awake at this point because of the grenade going off, you see this big dude. I don't know if you guys recognize him from the rodeo, because I'm not sure you would have seen him through like any sort of binoculars or anything, but you can tell that he is a person of significance. And he makes his way over to Grace, and he's like, now, Grace, what did I tell you? I told you that I would let you have your little hospital. I wouldn't interfere. It could be your little zone where you take care of people, and I wouldn't take it from you. The agreement was always you had to tell me if anything fishy started happening around here. Now, Grace, tell me, is anything fishy going on around here? And Grace is like, no, I mean, people are sick. People need help. That's all this is. I told you I would treat everyone equally. This is a place that is a safe haven. I was here before you were. This is a place of respite and peace. I don't stir the pot. But I also keep to my code to do no harm. And this big guy with his eye patch, he just sort of laughs and he's like, I can't believe you. You're so adorable, Grace. He's like, it would be a real shame to find out that you're hiding something from me, because you know that any time I want, I could come in here and take this place over, and there's nothing you could do. But I got a soft spot for you, Grace. And she just sort of like, you get the impression that this is sort of the power dynamic that's always implied between the two of them, where he's constantly coming in and swinging his dick and threatening to take the place over. And she's just having to remind him that, like, I'm a doctor. I have integrity. Fuck you. I was here first. I don't give a shit about the fact that you have this army out here. This is my place, etc., etc. But he is definitely interrogating Grace for information about anything out of the ordinary. But what you and Dorian can tell is that she has no interest in providing him information. As much as he threatens and as much as he sort of throws his weight around, she does not seem to be particularly... She's holding to her guns. And you get the impression that, excuse me, if she wanted to sell you out, she could have, but she hasn't. And, he kind of sticks around and makes a few more veiled threats. And you hear him talking about, like, you haven't seen anybody. It looks like they've been crawling around in the mud, have you? And Grace is really confused. She's like, everybody's dirty. No, but there's no running water. This isn't what do you think we are? Everybody's filthy. Everybody's haggard. Everybody's run down. Everybody looks like they've been running through the mud. And excuse me. This big dude, he's just sort of like, he kind of chuckles because he realizes that, she has a point. But he's like, just remember, if you see anything fishy, tell me first. Everything will be fine. It would be a real shame to come over here and teach you what I'm capable of. And she's just sort of like, shrugs her shoulders, and she's like, I don't know what you want from me, but I think you've overstayed your welcome. And he laughs. Like, this whole dynamic where Grace feels like she has some space to throw her, to stand up for herself, he finds this entirely sort of like almost pathetic. But he motions to the sergeant. He's like, all right, I think we've made our point. They leave. They get in the vehicle, and they drive. They drive away.
I would like to go up to Grace and am I just wearing like a hospital robe or like
yeah, let's say yes.
Okay. Just
they're
ass hanging out and everything.
They don't fit well because they don't have a lot of options in terms of like making sure that everybody's appropriately sized. Yeah, you're just wearing like a hospital gown.
Okay, so I go over to Grace. I'd like to thank you for your hospitality. I feel 1,000 times better. Some good dreams. I'm not saying I dreamt of you, but I could have. You can take that, throw that away, whatever. I'll make it disappear, retracting it. Anyway, I couldn't help but overhear your conversation with that large pirate, and I think we could help each other out. I know I look like a fool, but I've got some fine friends that could help you with your situation since you helped us with ours.
And she's like, what do you mean by help? I get real suspicious and anxious when strangers start telling me they want to help me with my situation. What are you offering right now?
And I think at this point, Marcus is, if he's in earshot, can he hear this?
Sure, yeah.
Marcus would like to say, I think what my friend here is saying is, from the conversation we just saw, your community probably didn't welcome these people in. They forced their way in. Is that correct?
We have an agreement. I treat his wounded and he leaves me alone.
Can you tell us, like, are they their own group? Are they with someone bigger? How many men do they bring when they come?
I mean, Major Sullivan is an established officer with the Sovereign Vanguard. That's all I really know. When they come here, it's usually no more than 4. But I'm pretty sure there's an entire, battalion between Fraser and Tabernash.
And when they come, how often is that? And do they leave anybody here?
They drop off their wounded. Well, as often as they need to. Nobody recently. It's been about a week since the last time they left somebody here.
Does this arrangement you have with them, is it something that you would like to end and not have them be a part of your community?
Yeah, I would love to be left alone. But this is the way the world is. I don't know what you're suggesting, but unless you have plans to take out an entire battalion of the Sovereign Vanguard, I'm not really sure what you have to offer me.
I can't speak for Dorian, but being a trail angel, when we see people that are being taken advantage of or need help, it's kind of something that we want to step in and help. I appreciate what you've done for me and Dorian, and I don't know where Peter's at.
Peter's right behind you. He's just like, this all seems like a circle jerk to me.
If I could be as bold to say, thank you for bringing us in and helping, but when they come, if they leave, you said it's about a week before they come back. I'm pretty sure what happened outside your walls here were some compatriots that we have outside.
You mean like the explosion?
I think that they were worried for us because those gentlemen that were just here, we just had a not too friendly experience with them down the road. And I'm sure our friends on the outside, because we didn't know what y'all had going on here, we needed help. Y'all proven to us, to me anyways, that you're good people. And if those guys are not going to be back for a while, I want to let our friends on the outside know that they can come in and we can discuss maybe an idea of how we can help each other.
So she's like, wait, there's more of you? How many of there are you? How many of you are there? What did I say the first time around?
The three of us here, myself, Dorian, and Peter, and then our friends on the outside who I'm sure are worried about us, Bunk and Silas. It's just the five of us. Again, we can tell that your community here, your two guys, they know my friends, the Trail Angels. These guys are bad. And I know that at least Bunk on the outside has got feelings about this, but I'm sure they're worried about us. And if you would allow me, now that I'm feeling a little better, go out and bring them in and we can discuss this further.
So she kind of contemplates this idea, and she's like, it would be advantageous to us to have Trail Angel support. Are you offering some sort of an arrangement with the Trail Angels? Do you have the ability to do that?
Oh, very much so.
So she kind of thinks about it for a second, and she's like, Dick, Chucky, go outside and find his friends. Tell them it's okay, they can come in. So
you also have the
Mark,
full support of the Dorian's dangerous dozen when I reach contact with him too.
Like, I don't know what that means. I'm gonna pass on that.
Marcus would like to tell Grace, your guys going out. As soon as they hit the gate, they need to say, Silas, Bunk, you're free to come in. Marcus and Dorian and Peter are safe. They need to let Bunk and Silas know immediately
Make
that
sure
there is no threat.
Don't scratch their heads.
Don't.
So, yeah. So these two guys, they give you some sort of an indication that they understand what you're saying. They head outside. So Bunk and Silas, you see the personnel carrier. It leaves. Like I don't know that you see the two guys get into it and leave, but you see the personnel carrier leave. Few minutes go by. It seems relatively uneventful. But then you hear your own names being called out from the YMCA, from the facility. You don't see the people because I get the impression they're not really interested in like just going out there and making a target of themselves by calling out your names, but you can hear your names being called out. And they express to you that it's safe to come in.
Hey, Bunk, maybe we should, like, kind of... I still don't want to be out in the open by that guard tower. Maybe we go bunker side this time, and at least any threats, if this is some sort of brick, be in front of us on the ground rather than above us.
Yeah, it seems like a trap to me. It seems like they tortured our friends and they gave up our names. And they're out here yelling for us and saying it's safe. I've seen this trick 1,000 times. So,
all right.
Let's sneak up. Let's sneak up.
Ready. Sneaking up.
Okay.
From the back.
And you guys, make your way towards the front of the building where you can see the gate. And you see, there's 4 men there, and they're opening the gate. But 2 of them, are sort of like holding position, and the other 2 aren't even holding weapons. Like, they don't even have weapons. And they just yell out again, Bunk, Silas, it's safe to come in. And they do not scratch their heads or faces at all.
All right. I'm gonna say, Bunk, like, watch those guys. Then I'm gonna, if we're at all hidden, I'll just sort of yell out, like, prove to us that our friends are okay.
That your friends are okay. One of them yells out, the magician is inside hitting on Grace, trying to. I don't know. I don't have proof of life yet, other than that your idiot magician friend is hitting on our doctor.
Bunk, that checks out.
That checks out. All right. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Bunk gets up and he has one hand on the 9mm in his back belt.
Okay.
As he's walking up. He's very cautious.
All right. Yeah, as you guys you're approaching the gates then?
Yeah, we're approaching the gates.
Okay, so I mean, as you approach, it's not like a homecoming of any means. It's very tense. Like, you're complete strangers. They are not accustomed to opening the doors for people. But they've been instructed by Grace to do this, and they are just basically making the assumption that you two are who they have attempted to invite into the building. And so the first one, the taller guy, he's got like a buzz cut haircut. He's just like, if Grace says you're welcome, then you're welcome. Come on in.
All right.
I let go of the pistol in my back. And kind of walk in with my arms crossed a little bit. And kind of looking around at everybody, just kind of eyeballing everybody.
And they are
Very, very
eyeballing
cautious.
you. I mean, they're it's tense, they close the gate behind you, and they lead you towards the entrance of the building, and they're like, your friends are inside. Come on, we can show you to your friends. And they open the door, and you see Peter standing there, looking entirely annoyed. But Dorian is, in a hospital gown with an IV, and Marcus, same situation. But you see this woman, she kind of, looks like she is the one in charge, and she just sort of looks at you, and she's like, you must be the friends.
Well, I guess they're okay. Must be the doctor.
I mean, yeah, I don't know that I'm a real doctor anymore, but I don't think you ever really stopped being a doctor.
My friend's okay? They gonna be all right?
Well, I mean, they're very sick, but there's no reason they can't pull through. She points at Dorian. She's like, this guy's a mess. I think he's delirious as a function of sleep deprivation. The other one is a lot more coherent, but both of them, they need rest, and they need fluids, and they just need to wait this out. And Peter's like, I don't know that we have time.
It's like, can you do anything for, like, a tree exploded on my face?
She sees like the lacerations on. She's like, oh my god. And she's like, yeah, what happened to you guys? And she gets like a certain amount, like a little kit with like Bactine and gauze, and sort of like cleans out your wounds, and put some antiseptic ointment on it. And she's just like, I mean, I think you're gonna live, but what the fuck happened to you guys?
lightning struck a tree that was near. That was just super shitty luck.
You got struck by lightning?
No, the tree did.
Oh.
Exploded in my face.
Jesus. And she's like, that makes sense. She's like picking splinters out of your face and, just kind of, again, just, tending to the wounds that are basically on the entire side of your face. She's like, are there any other injuries that I need to know about?
I tell her that my friend Bunk is actually only 40 years old, but he looks 88. If she has anything for that.
That's not a medical condition. I'm not a plastic surgeon.
I let her know that in the last few days, I was also shot in the chest. And maybe if she could check for infection, that'd be cool.
So she's like, good God, you're all a fucking mess. So she takes Silas, and she's like, again, same things he does with Dorian. She's like, you just need rest. She checks out the gunshot wound. She's like, you need to lay back, and I need you to find a safe, happy place in your mind, because this is gonna hurt. And she takes these like stainless steel tweezers, and she just starts rooting around in this gunshot wound, trying to see if she can find a bullet or any pieces of shrapnel. And she does find a bullet that is lodged, in this meaty part of your chest, and she just rips it out. I need you to give me a stamina roll.
Ooh.
Jesus.
Oh shit.
You guys were way worse than I remember.
Whew.
Oh.
So you're going to take a point of stress from the trauma of her like digging around in your gunshot wound and pulling the bullet out. She's like, this is going to help. And she has like water that she cleans out your wound with, and she sort of stuffs it with sterile gauze, and she's like, you're going to want to keep pressure on this for a while. But honestly, I think all of you could do with some rest. She's like, is there anything else?
It's been a long few weeks. I don't think so.
I'm sorry, Matt, your mic was cutting out. What did you say?
It's been a long few weeks. I don't think there's anything else that's majorly wrong with me.
Okay. So she basically recommends that all of you, like between Marcus and Dorian suffering from Giardia, and Silas having, a tree explode in his face and a gunshot wound to his chest. She's like, I think you guys would do well to just maybe rest up here for a bit of time.
Let's do it.
Okay. She basically, she's like, she points at Bunk. She's like, you don't seem to be specifically injured, but I mean, we have spare beds. She's like, we have spare beds. You're welcome to one of them while your friends recover here.
I will definitely take some shut-eye if this is a safe place.
Okay. She looks at Peter and she's like, same for you. And he's like, I don't sleep. Which is sort of like disarming for her, but she's like, all right, whatever. But before you guys kind of like make your way off to these beds, she's just like, so what is the story? What Is there anything I need to know to specifically not say the next time he comes through here? And then she thinks about it for a minute and she's like, you know what? I don't want to know. Less I know, the better. You guys are just wayward travelers.
The tale to be told.
Regale her while everyone slept, but basically catch her up to speed.
She's like, did you want to tell the story?
Yeah.
Of your
I don't need to real time. No. I just say that I kind of caught her up to speed on where we are and what we've done. And specifically why that guy was looking for us, and I was captured by cannibals and collapsed their tunnels and yada yada, and they didn't like that for some reason. They're just trying to escape. And, yeah, so I'll fill her in on everything.
So you get to the part about the cannibals, and she's like, that's weird. We had somebody who just showed up barely holding on to consciousness about 3 days ago. They've been unconscious since they got here. Their arm was amputated at the elbow. We see a lot of weird shit. This is a weird world. It's honestly not the strangest thing I've ever seen. But considering the circumstances, the arm was definitely amputated and not, lost in an accident where a rock fell on it and they had to cut it off with a pocket knife. Where did you said this was in tunnels under the rodeo?
Yeah. Them tunnels don't exist no more. I blew them up.
She's like, oh, was that the earthquake I felt the other day?
Yes, ma'am.
And she's like, I think this is where I'm going to invite you to not tell me more of your story. No offense.
Yeah.
But for my own sake, I think the less that I know, the better. And she just sort of, she's like, so if there's nothing else in this moment, I have other people to check on, and I would encourage all of you to just get some rest.
I grab a spare bed,
Mhm.
hop in it, close my eyes.
Cool.
I need a break in real life.
Yeah, I was going to say this is where we're going to take a quick break.
Great. I was going to suggest.
Okay. So we'll take a quick break and we'll come back in, I'll say like 5 minutes. Okay. So you guys have been offered a place to rest. Grace has treated some of your wounds. And considering that this is more than just rest, you guys are literally you're getting possibly the first legitimate medical treatment that you've had in maybe years. Instead of restoring 1 hit point that you would normally restore during rest, if you have hit points that you need to restore, you can roll a d6 and restore however many hit points you roll.
Again, Ryan, how
Yep.
do we know our max health? Because mine's at 6.
Your max health is 6 plus your stamina score.
Oh, so I can roll one then. What am I rolling?
A d6. And whatever you roll, that is the number of hit points that you're going to restore during this rest.
Oh, well, I only need one, so.
Does this rest take away my stress?
It does.
Man, Silas is up to full hit points for the first time in a long time, and he is not stressed and ready to fuck shit up.
Guys, let's just
Perfect.
never leave this place.
Marcus was down to 2 days on the impaled thigh. Do I knock that down to 1 day now? As far as my critical injury?
Yeah, I mean, I would say at this point you can do away with that.
Wipe that up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just fix that shit.
So yeah, you guys are feeling. Dorian can remove his exhausted condition.
Slept, guys.
And I need Dorian and Marcus both to give me stamina rolls.
Oh, fuck yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
So over the course of the evening, the intense abdominal pain and the abdominal cramps and the compulsive urge to shit yourself subsides as you sort of pull through from this that ordeal. During the course of the night, you're not really sure what time it is because you're not outside. You've all been sleeping, but at some point there's a kind of a big commotion. Not loud or boisterous, but just you can tell that like a few people have a sense of urgency, and they are gathered around one of the other beds in the sort of like this. It's like it's like in the gymnasium at the YMCA, so it's like basically the size of a basketball court. And you see Grace and two other people sort of paying a lot of attention to one of the people that's sleeping in one of the beds. And they're only there for a couple minutes. Seems to be somewhat urgent, but then eventually Grace just says that's all we can do. And the two other people with Grace sort of like look a bit defeated, and Grace pulls the sheet over this person's face, and she just says, "We'll bury him in the morning." And that happens, about halfway through your rest. The rest of the evening is pretty calm and uneventful. Periodically, Grace comes by to check your IV to make sure that it's flowing properly. She changes out some gauze for Silas. And that's about it. And over the course of the night, you guys feel like you've gotten maybe the best restorative sleep you've had in a very long time.
All right, I feel great. What's next, guys?
So, I guess Marcus wants to ask Grace, like, as far as your community here, are you the leader? Are you in charge?
I mean, yeah, it's this is a volunteer organization, so to speak. I mean, people come here because the Vanguard mostly leave us alone. It's a safe place, obviously, because there's medical attention to be had. Rudimentary as it is, this is probably the only place that people have ever had an opportunity to have medical treatment. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that I'm in charge. I have the most medical training. I think that's pretty significant to most people here.
Other than that weekly patrol of Vanguard guys that were just here, is there any other factions or groups that come through here against your will, like Vanguard?
Against our will? I mean, yeah, there's always somebody that wants to fuck with us, but I mean, that's why we got guards out front. That's why we got a watchtower that keeps track of everybody coming in and out. I mean, this is a hostile world. It would be foolish to think that just because we're a hospital, in the very loose definition of the word, that we would never encounter people that have nefarious intent for us. Well, is there something I should be worried about? Do you know something that I don't?
I mean, this world's filled with people that only want to take and don't want to help. And me, myself, being a trail angel, I understand the plight that your community is dealing with. I can't speak for my friends. We've got a destination, but other than that group that showed up, the 4 men that were here, have you ever seen any other Vanguard patrol, or is it just them? Are you somewhat of an outpost for them?
I agree to treat his wounded. Outside of that, I have no other arrangement outside of his veiled threats to constantly take this place over. I don't know what he thinks he's going to fucking do if he gets here. It's not like he's a doctor. I think that's why he lets me be, is that he knows that if I'm not here, this place is useless.
I would like to say to the group, guys, I think we have an opportunity to help these people, maybe um, end this, veiled threat that they continue to give, and also help ourselves. That vehicle that they were driving in here, and as well as down the road, we could use that to get to our destination and help these people rid themselves of this threat. That's what my organization does. It would help us, and I think we could help them. What do y'all think?
Are you thinking that, like, if you cut off the head, the rest of it dies? I mean, they're essentially a military style organization. Like, someone else would just replace. I don't know.
That's a possibility. This is also a world we live in where this guy could uh, stays with the Vanguard, but he's not, or maybe he's striking out uh, for himself. We don't know if the rest of the Vanguard's ever even aware of this post. We could help these people rid themselves of them, and then use that vehicle to go to our destination. I'm offering something that helps both us and this community.
Bunk feels that Marcus is making a whole lot of sense here, and what definitely, I'm on board with that. I don't like people pushing other people around, and these people are just trying to do good, and they're being bullied around by these fucks. And you know what? If this is where we die, then at least we died for something. Shit. On that note, Bunk is also incredibly very sick and needs to dip out early, if that's okay with anyone.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. I mean, do what you need to do.
I need to go lay down.
Right on, man.
Grace needs to put an IV in you.
Yeah, for sure. See ya.
See ya. Feel better.
Feel better.
I mean, how do you propose we take out an army? I mean,
Well,
they're
it's not
not
an army. it's just 4 men. Like I asked Grace here, what's the regimen? They show up every week or once a week. They bring their wounded, but it's typically the same amount of people. They have at least 4 guards that we know of. There are 5 of us, and not only do we have the higher ground, Anakin, but we also know their schedule. So no one else is coming. They're coming through here. We take them out. Do we do we know if the rest of Vanguard's going to come here looking for them? No. Um, but it helps these people. It helps us. We've got a destination we've got to get to. Peter, I'm sure a vehicle would be a lot better than walking all the way to the border. Peter, do you agree?
Oh, Peter,
Doesn't sleep.
Peter's just sort of like, yes, I mean, I don't know that it's smart to take on an entire regiment of Vanguard. I think if we kill the 4 guards that show up, it would be very suspicious that they don't return, and more will show up. We don't know how many there are in Tabernash or Fraser, much less both of them.
Yeah, I think it would definitely cause more people to come looking for him.
And potentially more trouble for Grace, I guess.
I think so.
Yeah, Grace is like, I would very much like to not be poking the bear. She says, however, hierarchy is a thing here with the Vanguard. And while it's entirely true that if you cut the head off of the snake, it may not actually die, I might have better luck negotiating with someone else. I might be able to get better terms with a different leader, with different leadership.
Do you have someone in mind? Like, is there a second in command that you have a better relationship with? Or are you just saying whoever is next is going to be better?
I honestly believe that whoever's next would be better.
I mean, I fucking hate the Vanguard, so I don't mind getting rid of a troublesome group of Vanguard, but I definitely don't have any sort of delusions that I can take on or we can take on, that many of them. So, small operation, yeah, but we can't take out that many people.
So the sergeant that you've seen roll in with Major Sullivan, he's Vanguard through and through, but he is more of a person of reason. I think that...
So we can just put him in place.
I mean, I think he would rise to the occasion if it presented itself.
So if the next time that they rolled in and the major were to do his normal come and bully you, do you think we'd be able to have some time with the the sergeant to present the possibility of the major being taken out and him taking that role, and then maybe there's a little bit more equality with your agreement?
I think that if you tell the sergeant that you specifically intend to take out Major Sullivan, that would be disastrous. But
That's why we ask these questions.
If you have, you find yourself, if you can figure out how to gain his trust, it might provide you access to the major. And if nature just takes its course, so to speak, like I said, I think he would rise to the occasion if it was presented to him. So if you can figure out how to gain access to the major by way of the sergeant, and you take out Sullivan, I think that the sergeant would just naturally gravitate as the new leadership. And I think that would make life much easier for me. But I gotta tell you, I don't understand what's in it for you. Seems like a huge amount of risk. Why?
I certainly don't know. We're not heroes. We're just out here trying to stay alive. Speaking of,
I only presented this idea to get the vehicle, but that would be taking out the whole regiment.
So, Grace, do you know anything about a smuggling operation? So we were.
And Peter kind of like
Tabernacle.
jabs you in the ribs with his elbows, like, hey, just tell everybody.
She is in the area and she knows people. Like, it seems like a fucked up deal to be in this place where we might be making contact, and then there's tunnels that lead to cannibals. Like, it's too fishy. And apparently this is allowed by Major Sullivan, like that he sanctions it. Like, Grace has a relationship, albeit tenuous, with Major Sullivan. Maybe she knows something.
She's like, I don't know anything about a smuggling operation, but Major Sullivan has been by at least twice to ask me about, mentioned something about people disappearing. If I'd heard anything about people mysteriously disappearing lately, and I told him people go missing all the time in this world. It's just, sometimes you go out on a simple hunting trip, you get eaten by a bear, or you run into bandits, or I don't know, the Sovereign Vanguard decides that you're a problem, that you're an instigator or an agitator, and you just disappear. He didn't like that one much, but apparently there is something going on in the area where people are just disappearing. And he seems concerned about it. Maybe that could be a piece of leverage for you with the sergeant. I mean, if you guys have firsthand experience with these cannibals, I mean, it sounds like one of your friends was abducted under your own nose and taken into an underground tunnel where he was going to be butchered to feed somebody. I'm wondering if these disappearances are connected to what you guys have already experienced. And if it's something that the Vanguard is concerned about putting an end to, that could be a point, that could be an insertion point for you with the sergeant. Just saying.
Yeah.
What was your read on these cannibals? Are they organized? Are they trained? Are they... I don't know. I mean...
They had a system of tunnels that went on for a ways, and there was a butchering room where they were going to bleed bunk out, and it was near what looked like a landfill, so they had a spot that was essentially a dumping ground for whatever was left.
But
So
no military type training is
they're at
what
least
it seemed
organized,
like.
but they died quickly. Put it that way.
Apparently they've been buried too.
Yeah. Better than they deserved.
So, Grace, again, she shrugs her shoulders and she's just like, I don't know what's in it for you, but if this is a thing that you guys think you want to do, I think that the information that you have about these tunnels and the people that were navigating them and your experience with these people would be information that the sergeant, and I'll have a name for this sergeant next session. I didn't even consider it yet because I honestly didn't think he would be that important to the story. He might be convinced to keep it quiet while you extend an offer to help investigate. But I can't make that guarantee. He may shoot you on sight. He may accuse you of...
That's the word.
No. But if what you're looking for is a piece of manipulation that you could use, that might be it. Because the folks over at the station, the Vanguard station, their feathers are ruffled. I don't know if it's connected to the smuggling operation. I don't know shit about that. But I've heard them talk about the disappearances. And considering that you literally described one of your own party members just disappearing to find them in an underground tunnel about to be butchered. We had somebody here the other, that showed up on our doorstep with an amputated arm. Died last night, unfortunately.
Sorry.
It happens. So it's up to you. I can certainly grease some wheels. I can certainly make an introduction if that's something you think you guys need to do. I have nothing to offer you other than continued support and treatment.
I know Bunk's stance on these guys, this particular major. I think, again, my idea was to help us benefit by getting a vehicle, but if you guys want to help these people and help ourselves somewhat, I'm with the group.
Okay. So she kind of says to you, I can send word that I have information. I'm sure that will get their attention. They will arrive shortly. I can make an introduction, and we can see where that leads us, if that's what you want to do.
Again, I'll ask my friends here. What do y'all think?
Seems like we're risking a lot.
Peter's just like, I think you're fucking crazy. This is a stupid plan. He looks at Silas though, and he's like, "But you have an angle, though, don't you?"
I do. It's not necessarily something I want to jump into at first.
But this puts us in an advantage. They don't know this. They don't know that none of us are plotting and scheming. All they know is that one of their own, as far as they know, is offering to help them with the problem. This could be good for us. Suddenly Peter's eyes light up, and it's like he's coming alive, and he's like online with this plan all of a sudden. He's like, I suddenly like this plan a little bit more. The only good Vanguard is a dead Vanguard. So he looks at Marcus and he's like, if we get to kill Vanguard, I'm on board.
That is about the only attractive option that is included in this plan, is getting rid of some Vanguard scum.
So Grace kind of looks.
What the hell?
Grace kind of looks. She's like, so is that a yes? Are we doing this?
Might as well. Play the game.
Sweet.
Got new pants I'm in.
Cool. She's like,
Are they brown?
I hope so.
This guy gets it.
So Grace just kind of looks at you and she's like, I'll send word. And I think considering that Bunk is out tonight, I don't want to get too far into progressing with this, so I think that's what we'll call it for tonight. But I think this is very interesting that you guys have decided you're going to
make a stand.
We can be heroes.
Stage a Vanguard coup, so to speak.
Just for one day.
Infiltration time.
Sweet. I'm very excited to see how you guys do this. But I think that's going to do it for the stream tonight.
It's gone.
What's that?
I hope it's a slow.
I'm sad my grenade is gone.
Yeah. Well,
oh, yeah.
There might be more. I mean, you guys are going to a heavily militarized like
That's true.
zone. But so I think that's going to be it for the stream
C4
tonight. If you guys want to stick around, I'll do a wrap up with you guys. But for the stream, I think that's where we're going to cut it for tonight. Thanks for watching.